Well, anybody outside of Kansas thinks they knows that state. Let me try that again. Anybody outside of Kansas thinks that they know the state through Gunsmoke, among other things. And Amanda Blake, as Miss Kitty, over the years, you tell me that the show has never, at least initially, was not ever received in Dodge City.
They couldn't get it. They couldn't get it. I don't know, the cable or the outlet or the plug or something. It was not in Dodge City. They absolutely could not get the show.
When was the show itself actually shot in any kind of Kansas locale? Was it ever? I love it. What's the closest you've ever been to a Kansas locale doing the show?
Well, we went to Dodge City. I've been in Dodge City several times, and we did go to Dodge City on a couple of occasions for personal appearances, and they had a great big kind of Western festival back there years ago.
But you didn't film any episodes?
We never filmed a foot.
So where were the exteriors shot initially, the first few years? Where were they shot?
Over here in the San Fernando Valley.
Out there in the Bay?
Yeah.
And then later on, most of it was really shot in a studio then, wasn't it?
And we started having a lot of problems finding locations because jets are going over and, you know, and a lot of telephone poles going up. The developers are coming in on all the ranch property and getting rid of an awful lot of that territory that all of us that were making Westerns or needed outdoor, rugged
Well, it's amusing, too, because we were beginning to notice strange mountainous shapes in the background that Western Kansas certainly... now, let's follow this strange saga even further. Now you end up in Calgary.
Yeah, well, that's closer to Kansas than here.
I think that doubled for Smallville and Superman, the first one. So it's been used for Kansas before.
Well, I'll tell you, dear. Well, in this movie, well, there's a good reason that we went up there. First of all, we needed mountains because Matt Dillon is now a mountain man. You know, so with all that beautiful country up there near Banff and Lake Louise, you know, we had the Canadian Rockies. You can't get any prettier, you know. And so that was totally right for what we...
And then other aspects of it doubled for Dodge City itself?
Yeah.
Because you do indeed go back to Dodge from New Orleans and from the fur trapping areas.
Yeah.
Okay, now does that mean then what do we see this time when we see Kansas? Do we see mountains, the Bay?
It seems so silly.
Well, only in the movies, right? Only in Hollywood.
That's true. That's true, yeah.
What did you used to hear from the Chamber of Commerce of Dodge City over the years?
They laughed at us, and we said we can't help it. You know, we're trapped into this because you know we've only got X number of dollars per episode, and so we're locked into this, and you'll just have to live with it. We know it's not right, and because there's just nothing flatter than Western Kansas. You can't get any flatter than that. And here we are with these rolling hills in the background. It's, you know, Milburn Stone, who's from Burton, Kansas, which is, 35 miles from Dodge, and he used to just have fits, you know, saying, why are we shooting it here? We ought to be doing it someplace else. And
so there was a lone Kansan who raised his voice there on the set.
Oh, definitely, a lot.
May I go back yet a few more years? One of my all-time favorite movies is Stars in My Crown.
Oh, my
what a wonder. And Jacques Tourneur and the whole gang.
That's right.
That must have been special stuff. And, of course, Jim Arness is in it with you.
That's right. Oh, isn't that amazing?
Can you remember when you first met then? Was that your first meeting?
Oh, yeah. I'm just trying to...
Just a kid?
You bet. Even younger than you think.
And here's this 6-footer sort of looming over you. At that age, even still, he would have been super tall.
Oh, he was, you know, he was giant. Yeah. It was very impressive, you know. Yeah, he played one of Alan Hale's sons.
Any special moments from working with him that maybe you recalled later? You know?
I just can't think of anything.
There were no lightning zigzagging across the sky to mark a moment of destiny.
No. I just, you know, this big guy.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you know, he went on and played the title role in The Thing. He's going to kill me for saying this, but...
I remember John Wayne introducing him on the set, saying, this is a man who used to double for me, and now here he is in Gunsmoke.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I'm going to turn the tone serious for just
Although
a moment.
he did work as an actor with John. He did work
Yeah.
a lot with John as an actor. Yeah.
We talk, rightly so, a lot about Milburn Stone, and of course we will lament his passing, but I'm wondering, could we pay a brief tribute to Glenn Strange? Oh, what a wonderful actor, and it seems like over the years we haven't heard enough about him.
I know. I've been talking a lot about Glenn lately.
Good for you.
Know. It was very, very, well, the whole first day for me on the set was just terribly, terribly emotional, but the two things that I missed was Milburn and Glenn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you walk into the Long Branch Saloon and you want Sam the bartender
That's
there,
right.
right?
And a face the likes of which we will never see again on screen.
Amazing face, yeah. I really miss him. Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we have to catch up with the fact then with the return to Dodge, we have Amanda Blake in a role that maybe, have you had to make peace with it over the years? Did you ever rebel at it and want to get out into other kinds of audience identifications?
Well, you know, there were mornings, 4 o'clock in the morning, when I'd say, I really don't want to get in this bustle anymore. I really don't want these curls, you know. But, God, you know, how can you know.
It's fate. Lightning zigzagging across the bay again.
And God, she's been so wonderful to me. Miss Kitty has been a good friend. I don't mind.
And we thank you for that.
Hey.
Amanda Blake. She's back to Kansas, sort of. Again, in Return to Dodge. We're here in Redondo Beach. I'm John Tibbetts for KCTV 5.